What up, my friends? Welcome everybody to the Avoiding Prison podcast, right? So, if for those of y'all who don't know, I'm gonna give you a brief backstory. On YouTube, I'm known as Gangish. In the streets, they call me Big Perm. I'm from West Denver. I did 9 years in prison. I did 4 of that 9 years in solitary confinement. I did 4 years as a juvenile throughout institutions, group homes, all that. I was a product of the system. I was a gangbanger on the streets. I was a prison gang member. All that. After getting out, after doing 9 years, I went through a long-term behavioral modification program. I did 4 years in that. I ended up with 9 years of sobriety. Katie, what's going on? After 9 years of sobriety, I got a bachelor's degree in technical communication. I also entered a master's program. I got halfway through a master's program before I relapsed. I aced my master's program. Everything about it wasn't about economics. Richard, good to see you. Just giving everybody a brief overview of what's going on. And so after 9 years of sobriety, I relapsed. This was a couple years back. In the middle of my relapse, I ended up catching 6 new felonies, which I am on bond for now, currently on bond for now. Now, despite all the love they seem to be handing out these days, they don't want to arrest anybody for anything. They don't want to send anybody to prison for anything. Everybody's given, drug treatment and everything else. The DA is dead set on me going to prison. I went to court again the other day. The DA is dead set on me going back to prison. Sambo, what up? And so for the last couple of days, I've been dealing with the fact that, hey, I guess I'm going back to prison. It is what it is. So I talked with some of my people, this and that, and they said, man, you giving up. They said, you're giving up, I've been out for a couple months already. I put together some money. I was getting ready to move out into my own apartment. I'm currently in a sober living home. I was getting ready to buy a car. And they're like, man, you're giving up. They're like, you got to fight this. I said, okay. Started thinking about it. I mean, I got some moves. The legal system is what it is. I currently got a public defender. Said, well, even if I was to take their deal, my next court date's in a month and a half. And then after that, they'll set you out for sentencing, 3-4 months after that for sentencing, something like that. I'm looking at sentencing around the beginning of the year. I still haven't pled anything. I haven't pled guilty or anything like that. Looking at sentencing sometime around the beginning of the year if I was to take the deal. I said, man, I put together like 3,000 in the last couple months. I've been running an eBay channel. I've been doing the thing on YouTube, working my ass off, working like 50 hours a week. There ain't no reason over the next, 4 or 5 months I can't put together 10, 15,000 and just throw it at a lawyer. Because if I throw it at a lawyer, that starts the whole legal process over again. That pushes me out like a whole nother year. I mean, I'd be on bond the whole time. I got to be sober. I got to do what I'm supposed to do. But that's fine. I ain't tripping on that. I can stay away from the bullshit. I said, man, that sounds like a good idea, fight for my freedom. So I talked to my peer coach, talked to the guy who runs the 2 guys who run the sober living homes. Shout out to them. Shout out to the homies. And they're like, man, you got a full-time job. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. We're going to go to bat for you. We're going to go to court for you. We're going to do it. We're going to throw everything at the wall, man. You're doing way too good to go back. And they kind of like hype me up, kind of juice me up a little bit, man. It's like, man, maybe I was feeling a little fatalistic about the situation. Maybe they're right. Maybe I do need to. I mean, the legal system is what it is, right? Lawyers can pull all kinds of maneuvers, all kinds of tricks, all kinds of everything. I mean, they're expensive. But, right now the deal they're offering me is 1 to 3. And that's with a public defender, 1 to 3 in the Department of Corrections with a public defender. I ain't been in trouble since 2012. I ain't caught a felony since 2012. They're saying, if it's 1 to 3 with a public defender, I could probably work some. Bay Area super fan, what up? Richard, good to see you. Holy Skunk, what up? Rubs, grubs, hugs, and loves. And I think they're right. I think I am going to fight this. You know what I mean? My eBay channel is doing good. I'm doing good on eBay. Honestly, I'm running the eBay channel and I'm sourcing everything out of garage sales. I'm running around hitting up garage sales. I've been buying, doing the storage auctions. You know, they got a little website online where you just bid on it. You can look at the pictures, and then you just bid on it like that, sight unseen, and you go in there, see what's in there. I've been doing that, and then just going to like the Goodwills. I swear I've been killing it out of the Goodwills. Just going down to the Goodwills. I'm starting to get a knack for what sells and what doesn't sell, what's a waste of money, what's a waste of time, what sells quick, you know, and what's worth money, you know, starting being able to like spot what's worth money and stuff like that, you know. I'm at May, June, since July 6th. Since July 6th, I'm at almost $3,000 in sales on eBay. Now you don't get all of that because eBay takes a chunk. You know, eBay takes like 25% off the top, something like that, in their fees and shit like that. But Forging Thought, what up? Good to see you, my homie. You know, and so I said, you know, I've put together some good money already. Just working. I mean, I've basically been out about 60 days. I've been out about 60 days. I put together some good money already. I was getting ready to buy a car, move out into an apartment, stuff like that. And I decided, no, I'm not. You know, with them saying they want to send me to prison, it's like, it's probably not a good idea for me to waste all my money going and buying a car and then going and buying a and then going and getting into an apartment, and then they end up sending me to prison. Then I just wasted all that money, right? Because it's in Denver. I live in Denver. In Denver, the prices are ridiculous. You know what I mean? If you like, it's like about 1,300 for a one bedroom here. 1,400 for a one bedroom. Maybe in the hood you probably find one for like 1,250, something like that. If you want to go live in the hood, Chief, what up? Yeah, if you want to live in the hood, you probably find one for like 1,250. What's called a studio apartment's about 1,000, maybe 1,050, something like that. I said, man, do I want to spend all my money on this? You know, I was getting ready to try to start my life. I didn't even think they were going to try to send me to prison. Honestly, yeah, hit the like, man. Share the live, man. Show some love, you know. Show some love to it, brother. It don't cost you nothing. I ain't asking for donations. Just hit the like button for me. And I said, you know, I think I could fight this. I think I could fight this. I was just so blindsided the other day whenever I went to court. I was so blindsided. It's like, you know, I had friends who were hitting the same charges as me. They ended up with the same charges as me. And I'll tell y'all what my charges are. If anybody doesn't know, if you haven't been in the lives whenever they talking about my charges, I got right now I'm being charged with 1 count of motor vehicle theft, 2 counts of possession of a transaction device, 2 counts of credit card fraud, and 1 count of felony theft, I believe. Don't hang me. It's something like that, though. It's right around there, something like that. Maybe it's a combination of those, right? And you know, this is all nonviolent. It's nonviolent property crimes. Clearly, I was on drugs. Clearly, I was in the middle of a relapse. You know, I didn't hurt nobody or nothing like that. I didn't fight with the police. I wasn't carrying a gun. I don't carry guns. You know, nonviolent. And like I said, I ain't been in trouble since 2012. I ain't been in trouble since 2012. I got a bachelor's degree and got into a master's program. Last time I got sober, I gave them 9 years, 9.5 years sober and a bachelor's degree. And these fools are trying to hang me out to dry. You know what I mean? I had a relapse. I bumped my head, whatever. And they're trying to hang me out to dry, you know? And I mean, of course, I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty of all the crimes they they persecute me for, but that is what it is. It don't really matter if you guilty or not guilty there. That don't really matter. What matters is, you know, how bad can they hang you if they do find you guilty, right? Or what they can try, what kind of story they can put together to try to hang you. That's what really matters. And so that's what I'm facing. I'm facing 6 felony charges right now. Um, and they've offered to drop it all down to one class 5 felony, which carries 1 to 3 years. But they are dead set on me going to prison for some reason. I don't know why. I've got friends who ended up with the same charges, but they had guns on them. They had guns on them and dope, and they ended up with special offenders and all this other nonsense. And they end up with drug court. They're going to drug court. Dudes are doing this type of stuff like on parole and getting out, getting love, getting probation, and all this. I don't know what. The only thing I could think of is whenever I initially went to prison in 2001. Whenever I went to prison for robbing a task force officer's house. And so I think that maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe they holding a grudge from 25 years ago. And they're like, nah, you going to prison. You hit a cop's house, you going to prison. You had something to do with robbing this cop, you going to prison. That's the only thing I could think why they got a hard on for me. Because they're like, nah, homie, you going to prison. But see, they done dropped it down to 1 to 3, and that's for the public defender, right? 1 to 3 with a public defender. So what are they going to say if I show up with a lawyer? You know what I mean? Well, find me a good lawyer. I know a couple good ones. There's some good ones here in the city. There's some real good ones here in the city. Harvey Steinberg. I don't think Walter Garash practices anymore, but he's got some little homies. Garash has some little homies, and these are famous lawyers. Harvey Steinberg, he's expensive though. It's like 15,000-20,000 like out the gate for that fool. This fool, he's cold though. Harvey Steinberg's cold. If you're from the city of Denver, you know who Harvey Steinberg is. Harvey Steinberg was the lawyer for the Denver Broncos cheerleaders in the 70s. Okay, in the late 70s, early 80s, the Denver Broncos cheerleaders got wrapped up, and they got wrapped up in a prostitution sting, right? That they said they were slanging ass, and a bunch of them got indicted on like some organized crime type trip. And Harvey Steinberg represented all of them, got them off scot-free, right? Scot-free or something like it. You know what I mean? Paid some fines or something like that. So homeboy made his bones like that. So there's some serious lawyers out here. There's some serious lawyers with some good names out here. So I started thinking about it, you know what I mean? If it's 1 to 3, if they're trying to hit me 1 to 3, and that's with a public defender, I can certainly do better than that. You know what I mean? If I get a lawyer, and I'm good at saving my money as long as I ain't high or doing dumb shit. I gotta call Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog the Bounty Hunter tried to catch me back in the day, dog. Dog the Bounty Hunter don't like me. He hit my brother's house trying to find me. I'll tell you, this is what Dog the Bounty Hunter does. I'll tell you, I got a story about Dog the Bounty Hunter. So Dog the Bounty Hunter hit my brother's house and says, where's your motherfucker at? Da, 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 da. And my brother wouldn't tell on me. And he says, okay, so whenever he wouldn't tell on me, that fool turned the camera off. Dog the Bounty Hunter turned the camera off and then told my brother, I'll give you $5,000 right now if you tell me where that fool is. This is how Dog the Bounty Hunter always be catching people. You know how he in his show, how he be cruising around trying to find people, and then he can't find people. And then all of a sudden, oh, we got a tip that the person's over here. That's because they turned the camera off. They turning the camera off and bribing their family members with cash, right? So my brother calls me. My brother told him, hold on. My brother calls me. He says, hey, man, this fool's offering me $5,000 to tell you. He says, you're going back to prison anyway. We could take this $5,000. We'll split it. I'll give you $2,500. I'll keep $2,500 and you'll go back to prison with $2,500 in your pocket. And I was ripping and running, doing my thing. My dad had died. This is a long time ago, whenever my dad had died. And I was just off in the wind. You know what I mean? I was doing my thing in the wind. I didn't want to go to prison at that time. I was going hard. And so I was like, no, I wanted to die. At that time, I was ready to die. I ended up losing my banger a couple weeks before they called me. And so I was going get ready to unalive myself by the police. You know what I mean? I was just gonna let the police do it. That was the plan. And thank God that's not what happened. You know. Um, but yeah, Doggy Bounty Hunter's a scumbag. That fool was chasing me for like 4 or 5 months. He was running all around the West Side, running around with pictures of me, trying to bribe people. That fool couldn't catch me. So I don't think Doggy Bounty Hunter mess with me anymore anyway. I don't think he'd bond me out again. I don't know. Maybe he wants his get back. He might. Maybe he wants his get back to try to get me again. But I ain't running. I ain't going to run from it. See, Fortune thought, if you do end up going, who on YouTube will have your info? I can hit up so I can send you some literature while you're in. If I do end up going, I'll make sure and I'll do a post. Well, if anybody wants it, if they want to what's called back to it, um, my DLC number, my name is Christopher Gregg. Christopher, spelled with a K, Kristopher. Last name Gregg. Everybody knows all this anyway. They've already looked me up. Last name is Gregg, Gregg. And if you want my DLC number, it's 112515. And you can send that to, what is it? Cell House 5, Canyon City, Colorado. I think it's PO Box 777, Canyon City, Colorado. I don't remember the fucking what's called. But that's the main hub for the prisons out here. That's the main hub for the prisons. It's called Cell House 5 in Canyon City, Colorado. That's like the what do they call it out in California? I forget what they call it. It's like the diagnostic. Well, there's DRDC out here too. They've got the one called DRDC. That's the diagnostic center out here. Whenever you first get to the joint out here, they send you to a diagnostic center, and then they give you a bunch of tests and da, 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 da. That's pretty much just the first time you go through. After that, you just kind of roll through the place. But Bigfoot, what up? With his blonde mullet? Yeah. Doggy Bounty Hunter. I don't even know if that fool, I ain't even heard of that fool being out here no more. I don't even know where he's at, what he's doing. I think that fool retired already. I remember whenever them fools were looking for me, though, we was cruising through the hood. We was in the G-Ride. We was cruising through the hood in the north side, and that's where their little bail bondsman spot is up there. The Decline bail bonds. It's up there in the north side. And I ain't running. Whenever I was up there in the north side, and he was like, "That's fucking Beth." We cruised by and you can see them big old titties. You know what I mean? You see her cruising around with a big old titty. I was like, "Oh, fool, let's get out of here." He's like, "Nah, let's go check her out." I was like, "Fool, she's looking for me." The homie Blizz from the north side, he's like, "Nah, fool, let's go fuck with her." We were stalking Beth. Homie, we seen her up there, and we were stalking Beth while they were looking for me, while Dr. Bounty Hunter was looking for me. Rest in peace to her, though. She passed on. That was homeboy's wife. She passed on. I never been to Crowley. That's one of the only prisons I never went to. I've been damn near every prison out here. I never went to Crowley, and I never went to Bent County. Other than that, I've been in every level 3, 4, or 5 that this state has to offer. Every single one. Like without, okay, so they used to have one called Fort Lyons, but they shut that joint down. So I never been to Fort Lyons either. Timmy, what up? I ain't running, homie. I'm like, so I started talking to the homies, and you know what I mean? And they're like, "Man, you giving up too early. Talking about you going to prison, da 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 da." They're like, "You're on the streets, you could fight that shit. You could fight that shit, you could get a lawyer, you could do whatever, you know what I mean?" And they're right. If they're offering me 1 to 3 right now with a public defender, and I go throw like 10, 15 racks and work my ass off for the next 4 or 5 months, save every penny, hustle my shit up on eBay, do my thing on YouTube, save every penny that I can, make sure I'm flipping, making good investments, you know what I mean? Keeping my shit in the stock market and smart plays in the stock market and shit like that. There ain't no reason I can't save up 10, 15 grand, throw it at a lawyer. If they offer me 1 to 3 with a public defender, homie, I should be able to get a couple years probation with a lawyer, right? I started thinking about it. It's like, man, they're right. I was just thinking more like, fuck it, just save up a bunch of money and then just go back and live good while I'm in the joint or whatever. But fuck that, man. I want my freedom. You know what I mean? I'd rather have my freedom always. So no, I ain't gonna run though. That's one thing I can't. I promised my mom I wouldn't whenever she bonded me out this time. I promised her, I gave her my word, I wouldn't run. I'll face the music if anything happens or whatever. And I plan on keeping that. I'm not gonna do that. I've done that too much in my past, and it always ends up every time I run, I end up catching more charges. Like whenever I was on the run from Dog the Bounty Hunter, I was only facing a 1-3 back then. I was facing a 1-3 for a high speed chase. I got in a high spuzz back then. I was only facing a 1-3, and they did the exact same thing back then. It was a high spuzz. I didn't wreck. I didn't hurt nobody or nothing like that. And these fools were like, take 3 years, go to prison. So I bonded out, took off, ended up getting caught robbing a house. You know what I mean? And because after like 6 months of Dog the Bounty Hunter trying to catch me, they called my mom and they were like, listen, we don't want to take your shit. This is only a small bond. It was like a $10,000 bond or something. They're like that, but they're like, we can't catch your son, and we're tired of looking for him. We're gonna take your shit. We're gonna put a lien on your shit if you don't. You know what I mean? If your son don't turn himself in. So my mom called me and she's like, you got to give these people their money. She's like, either give them their money or you're turning yourself in. And so I was like, all right, cool. But my dumb criminal ass, I was like, okay, I guess that means I need 10,000. So I just started robbing like a motherfucker. I started robbing everything in sight. And that's the type of shit I do whenever I go on the run. I can't do that again. This is a small sentence. Even if I do got to go back to the joint or whatever, it's a small sentence. I know how to do time now. Everybody knows me. They respect me. I don't got to go in there and do a bunch of, get a bunch of heads up and do a bunch of craziness anymore because everybody knows me. Everybody knows I'm not a punk. I ain't leaving. You ain't going to punk me out. You ain't going to run me off. You know what I mean? I'm going to stand on mine. I ain't got to prove myself no more. So I know how to do my time. I can avoid a lot of the dumb shit. You know what I mean? If I go back to prison, I can avoid a lot of the dumb shit. I probably won't get in any trouble, And with my education, I'll probably get a decent job now too. They'll put me back there. They'll put me as like a parapro or something like that, helping people with their GEDs and stuff like that. I can just go back, read some books, chill out, lift a little weights, whatever. So I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna run. I'm going in non-violent. I should be able to get out. You know what I mean? If I do have to go, I should be able to get out. But I got a lot of people rooting for me on my side. You know what I mean? Mr. Diddy the Merciful, you need to be in the program up until sentencing as many as you can. I'm in right now. I'm in a sober living home. So I take weekly UAs. All my UAs been clean since I got out, and I'm on probation out of Denver. See, Denver gave me probation right away. They dropped it down to a misdemeanor. Gave me 18 months probation. This was like a month ago. I go to class tomorrow. I go to class every Tuesday and Thursday, doing all the things that I'm supposed to do for probation. I'm dropping clean UAs. I'm working a full-time job. I'm dropping all clean UAs at the sober living home. I program with the sober living home. We have like house meetings. We have, treatment meetings and all that stuff. I'm doing all that, So I got people now. I got to go get probation. Like I said, probation just kind of started. So I need to go get probation. Now I need to get them on my side too. So that I got probation sending letters to the judge or to the DA. I got the people from the sober living home sending letters to the DA. You know what I mean? So I get everything on my side, everything saying that, you know what I mean, I'm doing good, that I got steady employment. I'm working like 45, 50 hours a week. I worked like 30 hours in the last 3 days. My knees are killing me. But yeah. Yeah, these fools got me here for the laughs. They got me. But we're going to do what we can. I'm going to do what I can to try to avoid it. You know what I mean? Try to avoid the nonsense. Stumbled, had a little relapse. Luckily I didn't hurt anybody or nothing like that. I never tried to hurt anybody. Not really a violent criminal. I'll be violent if I have to. You know what I mean? You put me in a corner, I could be violent, but for the most part, I don't know. I try to make money and fuck bitches and shit like that. Why does Bigfoot have a wrench? Yeah, Timmy, I can't fuck it up no more, dog. I can't run no more. I ain't got no damn knees to be running. You know what I mean? My ass can't be running. I used to be a running fool. I ran on the seventh. I never, every time I've ever actually ran, like physically ran from the police, I got away. I got away a couple times. The key to getting away, you want to know the key to getting away on like high spuds, any of that? Don't hesitate. If you're going to dip, don't hesitate. Like if you spuzzing, if you G riding or something like that, and you think there's a cop behind you, you need to find out right now. Because if you wait, they're going to set a trap. They're going to call their homies, and then there's going to be 3 or 4 of them, and before you know it, they're going to have you all boxed in. You see how they do it. You know what I mean? They wait in the wings, they wait in the back, and they wait around to see. If you look behind you and you think that somebody's following you and you think that there's a police on you, you know what I do? I pull the fuck over. I pull over on the highway. I throw the hazards on and just pull over onto the side of the fucking highway. If it's the police behind you, they're going to pull right up behind you. And then I'm going to dip on their ass. So whenever I dip on their ass, now it's one-on-one. Now we going heads up. It's a one-on-one, your car versus my car, and we dip it, right? But if you let them call all their homies, then it's a 4-on-1. It's a 5-on-1. It's a whatever. We're going to, if I think there's a cop behind me, we finna find out right now. We're going to know right now. We're going to figure this out right now, and we're going to see how your skills are one-on-one. You know? That's the key to dipping on these fools. Don't let them set up a trap, and don't hesitate. If it's time to go, it's time to go. Motivation, what up? Good to see you, my homie. C-Dog. Good to see you, brother. Glad you're here. These fools got me. They're trying to send me back to the fucking Pinta. Bastards. I'm not guilty, but you know how it goes. They don't care. They don't care. They think they got you on something, and they're going to try to push it to the max. I think Bigfoot's gay. That's a big homo. Bigfoot's gay. That's a big homo. What they call them, bull queers in the joint? Fucking bull queers. Yeah. Yeah, you got to dip on these fools. They hit my ass for the car running from the car. They didn't even try to get out and fight with your big ass. Oh, they just run this fool over. They seen your big ass running. They were like, hell no. Nah. Run his ass over. Put a big ass dent in the car. Yeah. C-Dog, good to see you, bro. Yeah, where is Cooper? What's up with Cooper? No Coops. Yeah. I had sex with 2 cops. You got to dip on them fools. That's the thing. Is people get you know, people hesitate. Homie, whenever they messing with the police, they hesitate. They don't know if they want to, you know what I mean? If they want to go, the worst thing you could do is wait for backup. You let them set a trap and wait for backup, homie, you're screwed. Because there's no way you're gonna outrun 5 of them. Because then they can just post up in the back. They can wait for you to make a mistake. Because that's what most cops do. You know what I mean? The cops they'll continue to drive cool. You know what I mean? If you're high spuzzing, they'll continue to drive cool, and they'll just wait for you to make a mistake. That's all they do. They just kind of flank, put out a little dragnet, and then just wait for you to make a mistake. And whenever you make a mistake, they on you. You deal with one of them, you go with one of them, heads up, homie. Then it's just like in the movies. It's just like you see in movies. You hitting corners. It's one of them. You know what I mean? You got to get out of there before they get to calling backup and whatnot. Backup gets you. That's where the police power come from. You know what I mean? It's power in numbers, power in the system. Distraction tactic. Yeah, Daddy, good to see you, Mom. It's good to see you still around. I get off and run straight foot chase. Yeah. That's the thing. Well, that's the thing. That's what you want to do is you got to dip on these fools, and then whenever you dip on them, and you got to get out of there right away. You got to find out if it's a cop chasing you, if the cop's behind you or not. If it is, you got to dip. You know what I mean? You got to get the hell out of there, and then as soon as you get some space on them, you need to get out that fucking car, out of the car, park the car somewhere, get out the car, right? Because that's the major part right there is if they catch you with the car in the car, you can't even prove it. You catch me 4 or 5 blocks away, you may think I was driving that car, but you gonna prove it? You can't prove it. You know what I mean? If you can't prove it, if there's no fingerprints or DNA or nothing like that, you can't prove I was in that car. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't hesitate. You trying to get ghost on them, don't hesitate. Yeah, so I gotta get this money together. I'm doing good. I'm telling you, I'm doing good out of these Goodwills though. I picked up a stenograph the other day. Picked up a stenograph for $20. Looks like I got it sold for $275. This dude's saying, he said if all the buttons work, he said I'll give you $275 for it. And I got it posted for $275 plus shipping. And he was like, yeah, I'll buy it if I. And I just went and checked, and all the buttons work. So that's 20 into 275 right there. I'm telling you, I've been killing it because Denver's such a rich city. Denver's such a rich city. You go out to these suburbs, some of these rich ass suburbs. Some of you go to Goodwill. The Goodwill's a lick. The Goodwill's a lick. Now, don't get me wrong. Goodwill been hiking up its prices on a lot of stuff. They've been hiking up its prices because of these resellers and stuff, but they can't catch everything. It's impossible. It's a numbers game. There's not enough Goodwill employees. They would have to have hundreds of Goodwill employees going through all this stuff, checking the prices on it and stuff like that to be able to catch everything that was worth all this extra money. They just can't do it. It's a numbers game. It's a logistics game. They can't do it. So no matter what, things are going to filter down through the they're going to filter down through the people, and they're going to hit the shelves. You know what I mean? Stuff that's worth way more than what it's priced for is going to hit the shelves. It's just, for everything I've seen, it's been good. It's been good to me. I got a camera the other day for $10. I sold it for like 60. Within like 3-4 days, I sold it for like $60. Harvey, what up? Good to see you, my homie. Good to see you. Yeah, everyone jump out and run different ways. That's another thing too. We used to do that too. The homie Maddie. We used to do the thing. He said, "Okay, well they on us." Da 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 da. They say, "Okay," and that fool pull over, and I just jump out the car. I jump out the car. I stuff the dope or whatever I was going to do. I jump out the car and just put my hands up. I give up, and that fool take off. You can only catch one of us. You can only catch one of us, no matter what. So who you gonna stay with? You gonna stay with me or with him? You know what I mean? I got a parole violation for that one time in 2008. I got a parole violation because that happened twice. That happened twice in like a month and a half period. They pulled us, and I jumped out the car on a high speed chase, and the homie took off. And I was like, man, that fool's crazy. It's like I met that fool at the bar. I don't know what. That fool's name was Joe. That fool's crazy. He said he wasn't gonna stop. I told him, you better let me out the car. I'm gonna fuck you up. And that fool let me out the car. They're like, oh, so you just don't know who he is. You don't know how to get a hold of him. I was like, nah, man, I just met that fool at the bar, dog. I don't even know who that is. The first time they let it go, I was on parole. The first time they let it go, they're like, all right. You think you're slick? All right, we'll let it go. The next time they didn't let that shit go. My parole officer said, you going back to prison. She said, you going back to prison? She said, because I don't want you to get in more trouble. Then she goes, you're doing something, and I'm going to keep you from getting in trouble. She goes, because you're moving way too fast out here. So we're going to go ahead and put you in prison, put you on a turnaround so you can go think about your actions. She said, because I don't want you getting in trouble. Krupp, good to see you, homie. Good to see you. Krupp don't got a big head. Don't talk about him like that. How dare you? Good to see you, my homie. Good to see you, Krupp. Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. I just been thinking about on your PO. You might. He's a dude. He's a young dude. He's a young dude. Plus, honestly, like these probation officers now, they're kind of cool. Like probation out here is kind of cool now. They do like go to probation meeting. They be playing games and like handing out candy. We played bingo a couple weeks ago. I went to probation and played bingo. That's Denver County for you. The Democrats, boy. The Democrats ain't no joke. They're playing patty cake with the criminals, dog. They cool though. There's some fine ass women running around the probation office. I'm not gonna lie. There's some good ones. Uh, I be thinking about it. Don't get me wrong. I be thinking about it whenever I see them. But what's going on over there? And I bought me one of these scooters since I didn't because I was gonna buy a car. I was getting ready. Like I was within like a week of buying a car. And so whenever all this happened, I said, "Fuck, man, I can't spend all my money on a car, especially because you got to keep the tags and titles and all that if I got to go back to the joint." So I went and bought me a little scooter. I bought me one of them electric scooters. I be dipping around on that scooter, boy. I be getting it done. Yeah, shout out to the hot ones. There be some thick ones, dog. There be some good ones there. I'm not gonna lie. I seen the one broad at the probation office. She said, "Hey, I know you." And we started talking. And we did know each other. And I was what's calling. We were. I was hitting on her whenever I was out there ripping and running. She done cleaned her life up now. She goes, "Oh, I'm a counselor here." She's a counselor at the probation office. I was like, "Oh shit." She was like, "Take down my number." So I ain't gonna put her out there farther than that, but I got her number. Keep your scooter. Keep my scooter for me. See, this scooter's cool. It's brand new. I bought that motherfucker brand new. It's got 20 miles on it. I was just looking at it a minute ago. It's got 20 miles on it. Shit was brand new. There's a warranty on it. It's cool. I think the suspension could be a little better. The suspension could be a little better. I might upgrade the battery. Maybe upgrade the battery for longer trips. Something like that. But it's clean though. It's clean. I like my little scooter. I've been dipping around. It helps when you're hoofing it to work and shit like that. I had to do something. I've been hoofing it around the hood too much on foot. And it makes everything like a mish. You know what I mean? If you're on foot or you're on the bus, this just kind of takes the sting off the bus. Yeah, good looking out, Timmy. Good looking out. It was either that or an e-bike. But the thing is with the e-bikes though is like the e-bikes, they're cool. They're cool because you get to sit down, so it's a little easier on your knees. But they have a lot more because it's a bike. They have a lot more moving parts, and every moving part that you add is something that could fail. It's a new part that could fail. You know what I mean? And so the what you calls it the more parts that could fail, the more likely you are to have to spend money on what you call spend money on repairs and shit like that. The batteries go fast. Yeah, they probably do. Like I said, it's a brand new one. The battery seems cool for now, but I know whenever you charging them up every night and shit like that, using them all the time, they do go. You know what I mean? That's just the nature of lithium ion batteries. There's no way around that. But I'll probably upgrade, get a better battery, try to get some better life out of it. Mine's got the level 1 and then the level 2. It's got the boost. It gets up to like 22 miles an hour. It's fast enough. 22 miles an hour is fast enough. E-bikes are cool. Yeah. I like it. It's nice for just smashing around the hood. If you ain't trying to go far, you just trying to smash around the hood. Or around here in Denver, we got the light rail. We got the train that goes everywhere. It goes all over the city. So between the scooter and the train, you get damn near anywhere, you know. And they got the free scooters too. They got the free scooters out here, but those things, they only work in the Denver city limits proper. Like literally, if you go across the street, and I live right here on the edge. I live like literally on the other side of these houses behind me back here. like you go like 2 houses over, and you're not in Denver anymore. I live right on the edge of Denver, and so I can't ride the Denver scooters over there. You know what I mean? And so it kind of, and then the thing is that's where I like to go thrifting. That's where I like to go to the thrift shops, is out in the suburbs. So I couldn't take the Denver scooters, the free Lime scooters. I couldn't take them into the suburbs. Otherwise, I would just be riding the free Lime scooters. I was like, man, I can't. I need to be able to get, because I'm selling on eBay. I got to make sure that I'm able to get over there, get what I need to get done. And so I was like, man, I got to have a scooter. I got to be able to get around to different places and stuff like that. But I don't know. Tim, you know any good lawyers? You know any good criminal lawyers? That's what I need. That's what I'm going to need, is a criminal lawyer. I'm just going to stack this bread, stack as much as I can. And then even if not, even if I still end up going to the joint, well, then the fuck it, I just got a bunch of money. You know what I mean? And whenever I get out, I can I'll throw it all in the stock market while I'm in the joint and just let it sit. And then whenever I get out, I'll go get a car and apartment right away or whatever, But I'd rather throw it at a lawyer and have a lawyer fight these motherfuckers. Because whenever you throw it at a lawyer, whenever you change counsel, it starts the whole process over again. It starts the whole legal process over again. And so that'll put me out for the whole legal process will take like another 9 months to a year at least, or something like that. So then in that time, I can stack up a bunch more money. Call Lozo, Don Lozo. David, what up? Good to see you. I heard about Lozo. I remember that name. I don't really know him. I got heartburn. This motherfucker. He about to go inside. See what's cracking inside. Him and his son are some clowns. Are they really? I've heard his name. He's kind of famous, right? He's kind of famous here in the city. I remember that name too. Lozo. Can't say I ever used him though. Vegas, what up? What you doing out here? Crawled out your fucking hutch? Crawled out your tent? Yeah. Nah. What up, Vegas? Trying to put some money together. Try to avoid fucking prison. They offering me 1 to 3 without a lawyer, with a public defender. Figure if I throw like 10 racks at a throw like 10 racks at a fucking lawyer, might be able to avoid prison. Plus, I got all the people here at the probation and sober living and everything pushing for me. So I was like, fuck it, because the homegirl was like, man, you giving up already. She goes, you talking about going to prison, you giving up already. She's like, nah, you can't do that. She's I give her one thing. My public defender, she's trying, but man, she brand new. She just a young girl, young white girl. She brand new. She trying her best. You know what I mean? But I just don't think she been around long enough. She ain't got the connections like that. I don't blame her. I do think she's trying. She just ain't got the clout like that. She ain't got the pull like that. Drink some basic soda real quick. Fucking what's called came on real quick. Heartburn came on real quick, and it's just. Fucking A. Man, everybody done went to sleep on me. It's fucking 9 o'clock. Whole house asleep. Straight bums. Okay, I guess I'll chill in the living room. Big old couch to myself. What are the charges? I don't. Okay, so I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'll go over it again. So I got 6 felonies right now. I got 1 motor vehicle theft. I got to be a little bit quieter in here, so I'll put my mug up in the thing because the homie sleeping over that way. His room's just right on the other side of that wall. I got 1 motor vehicle theft. I got it's either 2 of possession of financial transaction devices and 2 credit card frauds, and then 1 felony theft, I believe, is what they charged me with. It's something like that. It's all basically those. There might be some. It might be worded a little differently or something like that. Those might not be 100% accurate, but that's the basics of it. They accusing me of using some credit cards or something like that, doing some credit card fraud, and motor vehicle theft. Basically, is what they accusing me of. Let's see if Brandon ends up there. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, they did hit me with a license plate thing. You right. But I think that was a misdemeanor though. That's why I didn't bring it up. Yeah, because I've got some misdemeanors too. There's some. I said 6 felonies, but it's like 6 felonies and 4 or 5 misdemeanors. But misdemeanors, that's all. I don't even count them shits. them are just the price of doing business. You know. Scante Warrior, what up? Good to see you, Mom. Yeah, they fucking, hey, at one time I had like 15 felonies. Whenever I was sitting in the county, they ran my bond up like a motherfucker. And that's why they ran my bond up like that. They ran my shit up. I had like 15 felonies at one time. Like 15 or like 11 identity thefts or some shit like that. It was like, what the fuck? Just all kinds of shit. They threw all kinds of shit. They just made up all kinds of shit and everything, and then they used all them made up ass charges to give me a high ass bond. Like that shit is dirty. I think that's one of the reasons though that the what's called. I think that's one of the reasons the judge reconsidered my bond though too, is because she seen they set my bond that high. I had all these crazy charges, but then they dropped all them charges. You know what I mean? And consolidated them down to something that's still completely unreasonable. I mean, I'm innocent of all that shit, but it just wasn't as crazy unreasonable as it was the other way. 15 felonies or 19 felonies or whatever the hell they were trying. Like, come on now, man. Y'all know better than that. You know the rules. You know what kind of car the Lamborghini. Chief, have a good night, brother. Still become upstate videos. He's still in here. I got some glasses. I got me some fat ass glasses. I'm getting the lenses put in them next week. I got some fat ass Burberry so I can be able to see again. Yeah, they got stupid with overcharge. They do. They throw all the spaghetti at the wall here in Colorado, and then so that way they still make you plead out to something ridiculous. You know what I mean? They do that. They fucking like any charge that's even related to something you may have even thought about doing. They fucking hang that shit up. They are using my past convictions. I'm guessing they're using my past convictions as a reason to say that I need to go to prison. Now, they're not using them to enhance my sentence because in Colorado they can't. unless they bitch you, unless they hit you with habitual criminal, then they can quadruple your sentence. But they're not trying to file the bitch on me or nothing like that. So they didn't try that, but they're using this to what's called, yeah, share the live. Thank you, brother. But they are using it to because Colorado's got this thing called the 2 felony rule. And if you got 2 felonies, it's supposed to be on your 3rd felony, it's mandatory that you go to prison. There's no way around it. But the DA can waive the 2 felony rule. And if the DA waives the 2 felony rule, then that gives you what is called an open sentence. And then once you have an open sentence, you can get probation, you can get diversion, you could get halfway house, you can still get prison, you could get whatever. The judge has complete discretion to do whatever they want to do if they waive the 2 felony rule. Well, that's what the DA is doing. The DA is absolutely refusing to waive the 2 felony rule in my case. That's the problem, is I got a cool judge. My judge is cool. I got one of the best judges in the county. I got everything else going for me. I'm out doing good. I got a job. You know what I mean? I had 9 years of sobriety, all this other shit. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. And they're just like holding on to this 2 felony rule like it's fucking gold. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand why. I don't understand why. It's ridiculous. They just keep pushing this 2 felony rule. It's like, really, guys? It's like overboard, you know? There's people out here, these people out here are catching all kinds of cases. This city right now is off the chain. Like, so what happened is, and I noticed this from catching this misdemeanor in Denver, right? So I caught this misdemeanor in Denver, misdemeanor drug charge. They give me 18 months probation. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, misdemeanor probation, no big deal. I go down there. They sign me up for 6 hours of 6 hours of classes a week. Now, see, I used to work for a treatment center. I know what they charge for these hours, what they're billing Medicaid, because Medicaid's paying for probation. They're paying for people's drug treatment and all this other shit, right? So they're charging between like $80 to $120 an hour to Medicaid for them 6 hours a week that they're making me go. So if you figure you scale it out and you say, okay, 6 hours of class a week times 4 weeks in a month times 18 months, right? And then you take, that's going to tell you, you know what I mean? It ends up being like, I did the math on it, it's like $40,000. So basically, they're going to charge Medicaid for the next 18 months that I'm on probation. They're going to charge Medicaid, run up a bill with Medicaid for like $40,000 because I got caught with a couple pills in my pocket, right? Now scale that up to how many people or how many drug addicts are running around Denver doing the most, doing whatever they're going to do. So that means every single time they catch somebody with a little bit of bag of dope in their pocket, oh, that's a misdemeanor. Oh, here's another $40,000 over the next 18 months, over the next 2 years. Here's another 40,000. Here's another 40. It's a scam. It's a scam. They running up a huge ass bill with Medicaid because Medicaid done fucked up and trying to help everybody. Medicaid's trying to help people. They're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess it is a good idea for Medicaid to cover your drug treatment, Medicaid to cover your mental health. And so now they're just running up every time they're monetizing the drug epidemic, right? They found a way to monetize drug addicts, right? See, the Democrats talk all this good shit about how private prisons are fucked up and mass incarceration and all this good shit. And it is. Private prisons are fucked up. They are unethical. And mass incarceration is fucked up. But Democrats don't care about that. They don't care about these criminals. They don't care about these drug addicts. They don't care about none of that shit. They just mad because the Republicans are the ones who own the private prisons. And the Democrats want their piece of the pie. They wasn't getting their piece of the pie whenever they were mass incarcerating all these people. So now they've turned it around. They're not mass incarcerating all these people. Now they're mass exploiting them through Medicaid. Now they're getting paid like a motherfucker through Medicaid. Now I've thought about this, and the truth is, It's probably better for society if those are your two choices: mass incarceration, which is just going to send a bunch of money to these rural communities. They don't really do shit with them. They're in shit fucking cities that don't have any economies anyway. And then it just runs up a big ass, the coffers basically of the Republicans. The Republicans are able to just, and the people who own the private prisons and their stock and all this other shit, they get a bunch of money. Or the Democrats have these like Rocky Mountain Health or whatever, these different places down here, these drug treatment centers. They suck all the money out of Medicaid. Well, at least then the people are getting paid here in the city. Those people are going to get their paychecks. They're going to pay rent. They're going to dump money back into the economy, into the local economy here. And it's going to actually help the economy. It's going to actually stimulate the economy instead of just taking all the money and putting it into, the stock price of Geo Group, or, what I mean, something like that. They are trying to keep you. Hey, homie, 3 times. Sea Dog said they're trying to keep him on his subs. They're trying to keep him on his subs. 3 times. They tried to get me to take fucking Suboxone. They want to put me on Suboxone. I've never showed any interest in Suboxone at all. I don't want to take any fucking Suboxone. I don't want to be on methadone. I'm cool. I don't care if it's legal. I don't need that shit. I don't have any cravings, or I'm not going through withdrawals or any of that shit. And well, just so you know, you could get, they call it MAT out here, medically assisted treatment. MAT is always an option. Medically assisted treatment is always an option. I don't want that shit. I don't want that shit. But they know for every person that they're able to get on medically assisted treatment, it pushes another person into another program, and they get federally funded through Medicaid, for those programs. So every new program that they can push my name and social security number into, that's more and more and more money that they're going to give federal government. They don't give a fuck about Sea Dog's cravings. They don't give a fuck. I don't know what happened there. I cut out for a second. But yeah, they don't care about Sea Dog's cravings or whether he's going through it or any of that. They care about money. That's all they care about. See what I just got copies of search warrants they got for our house and brush. They never executed them. Let's see what it says. Show on stage. I just got copies of search warrants they got for our house and brush. They never executed them due to concerns for officer safety. What the fuck is that? What the fuck does that even mean? I tried to warn you about that part of the state too, but that part of the state, part of the state is no good, dog. Uh-oh. We got visitors. Don't play with Pitbull's name. I took a vitro shot. I don't know what that is. Is that like the permanent one? That's the permanent one where you don't have to take it no more, huh? Yeah, I think I did hear that. I don't know much about it. I never felt like medically assisted treatment was that great of an idea. The part of the state is off the chain. It's wild out there. It's wild. No good. Mile High Hustle, good to see you, Mom. Good to see you. Let's see. There's some cat in LA giving people 10 grand to go to his rehab for a month so he can make 30 grand. That is ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I believe what you're saying. I've heard of that too. Dude was on Soft White Underbelly the other day talking about that. I forget what they call it, like people farming or some shit like that. and they were talking about that. And they were having people go out. They're having people go out and recruit people into their sober living homes, right? Because they're setting up these sober living homes, and they know that Medicaid will pay for them as long as you can get the person in there with the name, date of birth, and social security number. They they'll get a check. You get a check from the what's called from the government. You just got to get the people in there, and they're doing it. They're absolutely doing it. The champ is here. The champ is here. You should what's called that. You should get that little Jada Kiss clip. Mile High Hustle. You should get that little Jada Kiss clip. Just look that up. Bad reception for some reason. Should look that up, Conrad. Jada Kiss, the champ is here. Boy, it is bringing in this junk food. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. They don't care about nothing. They just care about money. The whole industry, the whole sober living home industry is just a racket. It's a racket. There's a bunch of money, and that sucks because the federal government. That's what we do in America. You know what I mean? It's like it's not the plan from the start for the sober living homes to be crooked or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's like no matter what, whatever anybody does in America, we're going to find a way to monetize off it. We're going to find a way to make money. So we're like, oh, okay, these people want to commit a bunch of crimes. Okay, we'll build a bunch of private prisons. Whatever the situation may be, we're going to find a way to monetize off it. So now we're like, oh, there's drug addicts all over the street. You know what I mean? These people knotted out in the street, just running around homeless encampments and all this. How can we make some money off of it? And that's what they're doing. Eating the bush. Sea-Dog said it lasts 30 days. Yeah, see, that shot lasts 30 days. But no matter what, though, now they got you in that program. And since they got you in that program, now they can get paid off of it. They got you on the list. They're running it up with Medicaid. No matter what. I'll crash out till I get a wrench. I'll crash out till I get a wrench. Man, my fucking computer's fucking up too. My computer got slow as hell. I don't know what the hell I did to it. I feel like somebody was on it whenever I wasn't looking. I feel like I left it open one night and somebody was fucking looking at weird shit or something. Looking at some weird porn and now my shit's all slow, got a virus or something. Boxer sent you an email about your last video? Did you make a video about him or what? His name in Denver is no. Sin Manos. Call him Sin Manos. The poor video he did. Stupid. Oh, don't leave Boxer alone. Capitalism, exactly. No matter what. They're gonna find a way to make money off it. But that's fucked up. Federal government puts this money away. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my homegirl. She works in the field and with these sober living homes. She showed me the advertisements where they're advertising these fools to go to sober living and go to treatment and all this other shit, and they're saying it's free, it's covered by Medicaid. Da, 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 da. You know, Medicaid is supposed to be for people's treatment, for people's medication, for people's medical needs, and da, da. Not supposed to be for rent. And not supposed to be covered for rent. And you don't have to, at a lot of these sober living homes, like the one I'm at, my homeboy actually runs a sober living home where I'm at. And he don't play that shit. He's like, we work around this motherfucker. This is a working man's house. Everybody works. Everybody works, pays your rent. They don't take Medicaid. At the sober living home I'm at, they don't take Medicaid. They don't accept Medicaid. They don't accept none of that shit. No government funded shit. You work around this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But a lot of these places, that's not how they are. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just take Medicaid. We'll just run your Medicaid up. You know what I mean? You don't even have to work. A lot of these places, you don't even have to work for like the first couple months. And so what they'll do is they'll go to one sober living house for like 2 months. They'll run a Medicaid for a couple months. They don't want to get a job anyway. They came off the streets just getting high and shit like that. They don't want to go work. They'll do that for a couple months. They'll relapse. They'll kick them out of that sober living home, recommend them to the next one. They go down to the next one. They stay at that one for a couple months. Medicaid pays for it. And they end up relapsing or fucking up. And then they go to the next one. And they know they can keep doing this and keep making the rounds. These fools are acting like bums. They don't want to go get a job. They can keep making the rounds to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And you just end up with free rent. Free rent, you know, you sober up for a little while, then go relapse for a little while, and then go to the next sober living home. Medicaid's paying for all of it. Going on down South Park. I run South Park. It is always about that dollar, but you know, they're getting to the point where it's unethical. I wouldn't be surprised to see people start to get people start to get indicted on this shit.
It's cookie cakes for everybody, just so you know.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
For everybody.
Oh, yeah.
My church donates a lot of food, so.
Nice. Venezuela runs South Park. I'm just. What's his name? Like Steve or something like that? Just call him Steve from now on, or John or whatever. Wesley, what up, my homie? Good to see you. I'm eating some cheesecake right now like a fat ass in the middle of the night. My day off tomorrow, though. Worked like 30-something hours in the last 3 days. Worked an 11.5-hour day the other day. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think I left that motherfucker locked in the middle of the night. I think I left it unlocked and just went to bed or something like that. Because all of a sudden that shit is slower than hell. And I cannot figure out why that shit is killing me. Like, it's so slow. I haven't even really been able to get in there. I haven't even had the time to get in there and like actually see what's wrong. That's how slow it's running. And it was running fine before. I was running Premiere Pro on it. And Premiere Pro's a heavy program. So it went from running Premiere Pro to like barely fucking functioning. But luckily, my brother's coming back from South Korea. My brother's in the military in South Korea. He's coming back here pretty quick in like 3 weeks or something like that. Found him a South Korean wife. He's bringing back a South Korean woman. And he knows computers better than me, so I'm going to have him look at it. Move like 3 Venezuelan women and all 3 are pregnant. I'm gonna do it gangsta. Yeah, shout out West. That's the homie. Homie's always there. Oh, the story. Whole pack of them, huh? There's hey, homie. I talked about that before whenever I first started my channel, homie. I said, thank God for them Northside women, dog. I swear. If it wasn't for Northside women, dog, I did like the amount of pussy I got in my life would be exponentially smaller. And you see what I'm talking about, Vegas? You see what I was talking about? Was I telling the truth? Right? Hey, them motherfuckers are plentiful, boy. Fucking nuts. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. That's the real truth. That fool's a torta slayer. Yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. I know you wasn't here for it earlier whenever I first started the thing. So I was talking to the homegirl about it, my sober living coach, and she's like, "Man, you giving up?" She goes, "You talking about going back to prison?" She goes, "You got all kinds of moves to make." She goes, "You're sober, you're free, you're doing the right thing." She goes, "Push this shit out for a couple months, keep getting as many continuances as you can, and then whenever you're done," she goes, "just go hire a lawyer." She goes, "Go hire a lawyer, start the process over." She goes, "Put this fucking DA back on his heels to where he don't want to deal with it no more." You know what I mean? I started thinking about it. She's kind of right. You know, I was just thinking about stacking up a bunch of bread. I was like, fuck it, I'll just go back to the joint and live good. Whenever I'll park the rest of the money I got in the stock market. Whenever I get out, I'll be cool. And she's like, "Nah, man, you giving up. You giving up on it already." She goes, you're out and free. There's all kinds of legal maneuvers you could pull. And she's right. She's right. You know? And the homeboy Rick was talking about, he goes, and there's a Hail Mary, because what he did back in the day is they just wouldn't let him. They kept Arapahoe County was dead set on him going to prison. That fool filed a lawsuit against the DA for something, just some random bullshit. He just filed a lawsuit against the DA. It was like, fuck. And it created a conflict of interest. He filed a lawsuit against the actual DA that was prosecuting, against the ADA that was prosecuting him, and it created a conflict of interest, and they got pissed and fucking what? He said, "Go for it." He said, "Smash it, big homie, the new dude." Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, so there's always that too. Last ditch effort at the end. You know what I mean? File a lawsuit. I seen him earlier. Oh, you got a cigarette? Yeah. He's ducking. He's ducking and dodging.
I'm sitting up in my tank getting heated.
Go shake the sheet down. You know, and she was right. My homegirl was right whenever I was talking to her. I was like, thinking about it, it's like she's right. You know what I mean? That's one of the beautiful things about being able to bond yourself out, or have your family bond you out, or anything like that, is that, you know, you do have maneuvers, you do have things that you could pull, little stunts and shit like that you could pull, you know, different legal maneuvers. Let me see what did I do with the lighter. Did something with the lighter. And she's right. She's right. I was being kind of fatalistic. I couldn't believe that they were trying to send me to fucking prison, you know? But she is right. There is shit that you can pull. You know what I mean? You can file motions. You could do all kinds of shit. You can make, like, you get a good lawyer. You throw 10, 15 grand at a lawyer. They can make life hard for a DA. All of a sudden, the DA going to have all kinds of motions and different shit that they're going to have to, different paperwork they're going to have to fill out. You know what I mean? Motions they're going to have to answer, whatever. You know, if nothing else, but just flood their flood their desk with paperwork. John Fish. Stupid. Oh, y'all are clowning. Boxer said, "Keep it up, Timmy. Coming for your ass too." Yeah, I'm telling you, somebody's watching my shit in the middle of the night, or whenever I'm at work or something like that. Somebody's doing some weird shit. Fucking computer slow down, and that's the thing. I'm not gonna say I don't watch porn. Of course, I watch porn, but I don't watch it on my computers. I never watch anything that can be detrimental or anything like that. I don't fuck around on my computers. I keep my computers clean. I keep them in, just on safe sites, completely safe sites, and I have shit set up to where if you go on a site that's not safe, all kinds of shit will start popping up and telling you this is unsafe. You know what I mean? You shouldn't go here. Da 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 da. My shit's slow. I need to pick up a used iPad. Y'all clowning. Y'all clowning. Yeah, so my homegirl kind of hyped me up. And she's right. She's right. I was thinking about it. I was like, fuck, I had already accepted. I was like, fuck it. I spent the last couple of days like, fuck it. All right, I guess getting myself mentally prepared. I was like, fuck it. Get myself back in this gym. Fucking put some money away. Give me some New Balances and some gray sweats and fucking a TV and call it a day. Coffee maker and call it a day. Fuck it. Go see the homies. You know what I mean? I mean, I could look at the bright side of anything. I could have fun anywhere. You know? I can go back to the joint and fucking have fun if I have to. It still sucks. But I go see the homies. The homies and they never getting out. You know what I mean? Might end up over there with Manuel's ass. I should have MR points. MR minimum, something like that. Yeah, they love Timmy. Timmy's a legend with the tortas. Timmy the torta legend. That's what I'm saying. I like white girls personally. But you know what I mean? If it wasn't for Mexican chicks, once again, the amount of pussy I got would be exponentially less. Yeah, see, dog, you're right. Drag it out. You know what I mean? Drag it out for a couple years, and then, like I said, whenever you get that lawyer, once you show up with new counsel, it starts the whole process over again. And like I said, my public defender, God bless her, she trying. You know what I mean? But she a youngster. I can tell she can't be more than like 24, something like that. You should have seen her face whenever she brought me in. Whenever I first met her, she said, "Okay, well, here's what they're charging you with." She goes, "And these are the possible penalties." I said, "I know all the possible penalties." She said, "What?" I said, "I know all that. I don't need to hear all that. I said, "I know them penalties backwards and forwards. I know every class of felony there is. I know all that shit." She's like, "For real?" Yeah, I was like, "I don't need to hear that shit. I know what I'm facing. I know how the system works." She was like, "Oh, okay." Get that light back on. There we go. Yeah, I got more time in the courtroom than my lawyer does. Put it that way. No one takes a pleasure. Yo, clown and leave Boxer alone. Boxer like the new Dub. Y'all just going in on him, huh? Y'all giving up on Dub. We just go in on Boxer. Proud toward that slayer. Y'all clowning. Duh. Uh, you know what's weird too? Like, cause I've been sitting around, I've been working on a couple different like documentaries, a couple different videos and shit, and I'm just wasn't quite sure what to do with YouTube. And then whenever they told me that day, they were like, "You going to prison?" I was like, "Well, fuck, I know what to make videos about now." That's whenever I always make my best videos. Whenever I'm the best on YouTube is whenever I make videos about the things that I'm actually thinking about. You know what I mean? The things that are actually going through my head. And it can be hard to make videos whenever I'm not, because whenever I get fixated on something, I get fixated on it. You know? All of a sudden, I knew exactly what to fixate on. You know? Going to prison. Fuck. Fuck that shit. We got to fight, though. We got to fight the system. There's no reason for them to be doing this. You know what I mean? Trying to hang me out to dry like that. On some nonviolent bullshit. Wasn't no gun involved. Wasn't no special offender involved. Wasn't none of that. Nonviolent property crimes. Been sober for 9 years. Oh, you need to go back to prison. For what? Fucking what? This is 9 years. This gave you 9 years sober. Like, these fools are really trying to hang me. Yeah, please. Please. That would be great. Because I only know the big ones. I know the big ones that got names for themselves. Them fools are expensive though. Shit, if I had 20 grand, you go throw 20, 25 grand at Harvey real quick. Harvey Steinberg, I'll be catching 18 months probation real quick. 18 minutes deferred judgment or something like that. It's all about money and like a fine. You know what I mean? That's the thing. If you could pay a big fine too, if a fine can become part of your sentence, all of a sudden they start, that's the thing is like whenever they sentence you or whenever the judge tells you if you ever been convicted of something, what they'll say is they'll say, well, you understand the possible penalties are, 4 to 12 years in prison and a fine ranging from, $500 to 500,000 or something like that. And you think 500,000, why the hell would there be a $500,000 fine or $100,000 fine or da 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 da? Well, whenever I really started thinking about it, the reason those are there is because that can be the sentence. Because the fine can be the same. It wouldn't be part of the fine, or it wouldn't be part of the sentence, part of the sentencing range. They wouldn't talk about it in part of the sentencing range if it couldn't be part of the sentence. But the thing is, we're all broke. We're from the hood, and they know we're broke. We're qualifying for public defenders, so there ain't no reason to offer us those sentences. Okay, well, we'll give you a year probation and a $50,000 fine. It's only the really rich people who can afford that shit, so they don't never approach us with that because they know we can't pay them fines. So that can be your sentence. A big ass fine can be your sentence. You could pay your way out of shit. There's always those ones too. Allegedly, homie. Allegedly. Yeah. Bootleg blockbuster videos. Yeah. How you gonna try to send me to prison? I ain't hurt nobody. Y'all going in on boxing. These boxers are low. Boxers. Music. King's FaceTime me surrounded by task force at like 3 a.m. one time. Refused to get out the U-Haul, made them fools leave. That shit was. They said, "Will you step out the car, sir?" I said, "Do I have to?" He goes, well, no. I said, "No, I'd rather not." They said, "Well, we just want to talk to you about this and that." I said, I ain't got a lawyer right here, but I'm pretty sure if I had a lawyer right here, he'd tell me not to talk to y'all no more. So we're gonna have to wait this one out. They kept calling different negotiators over trying to get me out the U-Haul. I know they didn't have nothing. You ain't got nothing. Y'all just making shit up. Yeah, and I FaceTime VPS because I wanted to have it I wanted to have it recorded. I wanted to record this. We need to make sure these fools don't do nothing stupid. Pull me out the car and fuck me up or something like that. Culture war vultures. There was some good ones. Shit, some of them lives we used to do. You know how much fucking, how many hours of fucking live streams there are whenever we were all building our channels? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fucking hours. There's so much crazy shit on Weevy's old lives. You know how much fucking content is just on Weevy's old lives and marathon lives he used to do? There's so much content there. So much content. Even ours. There's a gang of them on ours. That was crazy. I wonder if other content creators do that. You know? How we all just kind of got together as a team and like everybody helped each other monetize. I wonder if other content creators do that shit. Or if they're just kind of out there floating on their own. I mean, we basically did that. It was like 6 or 7 of us and we just like forced it. It was like, fuck it. We're all going to monetize. We're going to monetize together. You know, we're all going to help each other out. That shit was dope. Shout out to the old school homies too. Fuck Timmy. Timmy's day one. Fucking Bigfoot. Here for the laughs. They responsible for hours of my monetization, guaranteed. I keep Tyrone Bigum's kind of money does talk, brother. Money does talk. Bigfoot offered a dude a steak sandwich next to the Museum of Modern Science, and afterward he was shown it. I'll give you this sandwich, but you got to look at my junk. there's stipulations. You can have this sandwich, but there's stipulations. There's strings attached. Bigfoot. Bigfoot's out of line. Bigfoot's traveling across the country in a truck. You know what I mean? Getting people to look at his junk. You know how they always got these serial killers running around, the truck driver serial killers. Bigfoot's just a serial flasher. Running around making lot lizards look at his junk. I didn't say touch it, bitch. Just look at it. Oh, that shit's funny. He got steak sandwiches on deck. Got a whole cooler full of goodies. Making hobos look at his job. Stupid. That shit's funny. Oh fuck. Oh, that should make me cry. My face is starting to hurt. I'm laughing so much. Yeah. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give it the best shot that I can. You know what I mean? I mean, worst case scenario, I'll put a bunch of money together. Worst case scenario, I'll put a bunch of money together, and I'll be straight whenever I get out. But I don't think this judge is just even if I do end up going to the joint, I just don't think she's gonna give me that much time because I got so much going for me. And I was talking to the homies here from the sober living home today. They're like, dude, we're gonna go to bat for you. They're like, if you got to go to sentencing or whatever, we're gonna show up. You're gonna have a whole team of people. Like I said, they kind of juiced me up. They're like, nah, bro, you're doing too good. We're not gonna let you go back to prison without a fight. You know what I mean? Shit felt good, you know. It's good recognition, recognition that I'm doing the right things. That's good shit, you know. Gotta buy the a deal's a deal, you know what I mean? Tit for tat. That's why I was confused as fuck. Hey, them motherfuckers had me surrounded. I swear to God, they pulled up. They had the what you call the Hummer. The police officers out here, they got a Hummer, dog. These fools called the Hummer on me. All kinds of lights lit up all crazy and shit. That shit looked like a carnival. Swear to God. Police pulled up on me in a motherfucking Hummer, dog. Called in the Hummer for backup. The military vehicle for backup. Like I was gonna ram them with a U-Haul or something like that. Because that really the crazy drunk kid on my channel. Fucking Rick's live was talking shit. That shit's funny, dog. That shit's funny. Yeah, there was some crazy ass lives. Hey, that shit's wild. Just remember, like them lives that we would have at like 3, 4 in the morning and shit like that, and all kinds of crazy people. We have some crazy ass people. Remember, we kept having that dude who would nod out. He would nod out on camera. And get him up there, and he just start nodding. Weeby nod out. The other dude is not. Weeby went and found some dudes who was more fucked up than he was somehow. Bigfoot running around the country showing people his junk. That shit's funny. That's Bigfoot. Bigfoot's go-to. Want to see my junk? Oh, that's funny. Weaving sweat up. There he is right there. Motherfucking Weaving in the house, boy. Good to see you, brother. Yeah. Yeah, it is late enough now that Weavy can start coming out. Weavy's getting the night started. Yeah. Weavy punched the dude's light out on Weavy assaulted some dude. Just punched some random dude who showed up at his didn't even think Didn't even hesitate. See, Weeby punched that dude like I was talking about, or like I was talking about earlier on the high-speed chase. Whenever you can't hesitate at all, that's the same way that Weeby fired on that dude. He opened the door, seen him, and was like, blah. It's the exact same type of shit, homie. You can't, you got to get off, you know what I mean? The same way a high-speed chase, dog. You got to get off on them, dog. You can't let them call for backup. You can't let them get their bearings, none of that shit. You just got to get off on these fools. Oh, I do remember that. You got to hear it live on TV. What the fuck you doing? Blah! Look, though. I just tuned in and you said my name. Yeah, we was reminiscing about some of the old days, some of the old crazy lives. We was talking about, imagine all the fucking hours and hours and hours of fucking live streams whenever we was all helping each other monetize, whenever we first met up and we all got together and was helping each other monetize. That's what I was saying. I wonder if other YouTubers do that. I wonder if other YouTubers get together in a team and fucking help each other monetize like that, or if that was like a one-off. If we were just kind of, you know what I mean, special in that way, the way we all got together and helped each other like that. You know? I don't know. But that was a cool time. And there's hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours of fucking live streams full of all kinds of crazy ass content. Let's see. You heard the punch. Yeah, you heard. You could tell exactly what happened. Whenever it happened, you could hear blah. You heard dude go. You heard dude crash out. That shit was funny, dog. Remember whenever Weeby ate that moth? People ate a moth on a live stream on accident. That shit just right in that shit was crazy. Deleted, homie. Never happened. Pictures or it never happened. Yeah, we should do a live. We need to do a live, brother. Herb, good to see you, my homie. Herb Dizzle. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in tonight. I appreciate you. Good looking out. I'm going to be on here a lot more. I've been working my ass off. That's all I've been doing, working my ass off and doing eBay and just working. Just trying to stack bread. Been working, buying these storage sheds. I'm buying storage sheds, doing eBay, hunting the garage sales. I've been hitting the garage sales a lot, but those are getting ready to end. Those end with the season. Once it starts getting cold, it gets too cold to do them. They won't do them no more. But I've been killing it. I've been killing it on these garage sales, and then on Sunday, whenever the garage sales ends, a lot of people will just give stuff away. I've been running around just catching shit for free. I caught all kinds of stuff for free. One lady liquidated her store. She had a store that went out of business down in Littleton, and just put all the shit out on her front lawn and was like, just come get it. I made like $400 or $500 off just the shit that I picked up off this lady's front porch for free. You know? Herb Dizzle. Yeah, I think we were. I don't know. Well, who knows? You know what I mean? How somebody's channels start. You know what I mean? I don't know if they be helping each other out like that. I don't know if that's a real thing or what it is. But I think that might have been kind of rare, the way that we all got together and supported each other like that. You know? We monetized a whole group of motherfuckers together. People monetized together. You know, that shit was beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I know you got hundreds of hours backlog. I got a gang on mine too. I done turned off a bunch of my lives, a bunch of my old lives. I've made them private and shit. They're still on there. They're still on there. I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff we done forgot about. Yeah, we did force YouTube to monetize it, basically. And I was making all kinds of shorts. I was like, well, fuck it. I need this thousand, what's it called? I need this 1,000 hours or these 1,000 fucking subscribers. I was making shorts about all kinds of crazy shit, viral shit. Whatever was going viral, I just make shorts about that shit. About people I didn't even know. YouTubers I didn't even know. I was making shorts and all kinds of shit about YouTubers I didn't even know what the hell they were. Herb, good to see you. Yeah, we bullied YouTube. Yeah, we made them. He was like, fuck it, one way or another, motherfuckers is going to monetize around here. Homie, we about to make this happen. And then and Plug couldn't get monetized for nothing because somebody was always fucking dropping M-bombs or fucking cussing people out, threatening them. People be threatened all crazy. People would have their life threatened like 2-3 times a week on the YouTube streets. Remember that shit? So he couldn't monetize for nothing. And then he tried to clean it up, Plug and try to clean it up, and then somebody get on there and drop a bunch of fucking M-bombs or something. Oh, that shit was wild. The moth. The moth. We just inhale the fucking moth on live TV. Yeah, fuck yeah, it was. That shit was classic, homie. He kept talking like it was normal. We should do a reunion. We should do a reunion show. Oh, that shit was clowning. Oh, that shit was clowning. It was a blast along the way. We had fun with that shit. Oh yeah, yeah. The fucking Whitakers. Oh, them Whitakers ain't no joke. You see them all over the internet now. After many an 8 balls to your guys' stream. Plug was crashing out every time. Plug and lose control of his live stream like fucking 2-3 times a week. It just fucking go. Wake up the next day and apologize. Be like, fuck. Well, maybe that was a bad look. Looked forever to monetize. I remember one week he was talking about montage. He's like, nah, bro, we're gonna clean it up. And then he got fucking Dub on there, and Dub just started dropping fucking M like a motherfucker. I swear, the first time I heard of Dub, dog, Jay Millie was going in on him for fucking for what you calling. Jay Millie was going in on him for dropping a bunch of hand bombs, and that was the very first end. But they were gonna give him a redemption. They're like, nah, it's okay. He fucked up, but we're gonna give him a redemption. And then it just kept happening and kept happening and kept happening. It's like, dude, come on, bro. Yeah, I forgot. He let him up a second time. let him up a second time. I forgot about that. Dog. The N-word bomber. I forgot about that. I don't think we ever figured out what that was. He let him up again, dog. That fool let him up again. I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that, dog. Oh, remember the dude? Remember the dude on Puffy's live stream that had his fucking junk like all trapped in a box or something like that, and he pushed it out back through his butt cheeks like the one-eyed elephant or whatever, and bent over in front of her. This fool had the one-eyed caged elephant, dog, and fucking. The N-word. Oh, my fucking cheeks are hurting, dog. I forgot about that. Oh, the N-word bomber. He let it back up again. Oh yeah, Sticks. Remember Sticks? I forgot about Sticks. I forgot about Sticks. Yup. I forgot about Sticks. Sticks is cool as fuck. I miss that dude. Yeah, when you gonna bust alive, brother? like, you guys thinking I'm a joke. And then some crazy shit that happened. All kinds of fucking. Oh, oh, fucking plug. What about talking time of the six? Oh, fucking Eddie. Oh, I need to do a live stream with Eddie, homie. Hey, Eddie's committed, dog. I'll give him that. That fool's committed. He ain't giving up nothing. Remember Eddie was like, I found this girl in Las Vegas, and we're gonna get married and move in together. She's gonna move out here with us, and da da da. And everybody was like, yeah, right, fool. All right, sure. Da da da. And then he showed up. Some chick moved from Las Vegas again. And he wasn't lying, dog. The motherfucker was telling the truth. Oh, fucking Eddie. That's true. None of us knew what we were doing. I still don't. I want to go back to the old school, and he's talking about those were just fucking fun, but they were. They were. We should try to do some of those again. I'm telling you. Some reunion shows. Them shits were funny. Big baby, what up? Good to see you, mommy. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We got take bombed. We used to find every fucking weirdo that you could find on that was up at like 3 a.m. on the fucking internet. We'd have them all in a just a fucking motley crew, homie. We'd have you'd wake up at 3 a.m, couldn't sleep or something, turn on YouTube, and we'd have a motley crew in that motherfucker, boy. You never knew what was going on. Number 2 dropping his ring. Dude took that. Oh shit. What up, Rick? Mm. YouTube. How did you meet Dub, gang? That's how I found you. Oh, because the video I did on him. Uh, I met him through these guys through Plug. Plug. Plug hooked me up whenever I met him. They were all mad because he called Jay Millie a bunch of N words, I guess, or something like that, and he was apologizing for it. That's how I met him. And I just thought he was an interesting character, so I was like, I want to interview this dude because it kept going like every other week he'd have a new redemption. Every week they'd be mad at him, and then they bring him back on, and then they'd be mad at him, and then they bring him back on. And I'd be like, well, clearly this is a complicated fella. You know what I mean? He was causing so much ruckus in the situation, so that's really how I met. That's really how I met Dub. It was just through that. Fool being racist on the internet. Hey, that Dub interview still does numbers. It's still doing numbers because Dub acts so crazy, and so many people hate him, dog. That there's always a new what you call it, people who hate him, and they keep coming back and watch him more and watch him more. And he's to this poor headline. I forgot about that. What did he put? He put like a cross or something right here, like a little Wayne cross. I fucking forgot about that, dog. I still remember him doing. He was dead serious too. He was like this. Oh, fucking Eddie. I'm fucking with Eddie. Hey, you know what? You know what you got to give Eddie though. No matter what, that fool don't give a fuck what nobody's talking about, homie. Eddie runs his program, and everybody either fuck with him or don't, homie. That fool don't give a fuck. Eddie runs his own program, homie. He don't give a fuck what you talking about. I respect him for that, dog. Oh, fuck no. Remember Timmy told the homeless lady, get the fuck out. Hell no. Yeah, he did. I've got a video of Dub dropping it. 6. Hey, if you go look up, if you go on Google, if you don't go on YouTube, if you just go on Google and you look up Dub that comes up, what comes up is a bunch of videos about him dropping the F. That's what shows. Like they made those videos more famous than Dub the Come Up actually is himself. The videos about him dropping. The streets is asking for Dub interview part 2. I don't think he'll do it. He got mad at me. Dub's going. Is she really? Oh, Reddit's ridiculous. He'll find some fans on Reddit too. He'll find some kindred spirits. He shows him crying and then take over. Are you serious? I've been waiting for somebody to get my arrest video. I figured it might show. I need his channel name. I don't know what his channel name is anymore. Wasn't it like Hardworking Man or something? Something like that? That you should go to a conference. It's going down in history. Guy Fawkes. Dub, I don't know if Dub could have capitalized on all that shit because they're always going to report his shit. They're always going to report his shit, and it'll never be able to get monetized. Dub is claiming he's in Elko with his Hells Angels cousins. He's literally had 25 challenges. Yeah, he has. Dub can't spell it. Hell no. Anyway, my homies, thank y'all for showing up tonight. I'm probably gonna call it a night. I'm fucking tired of shit. I gotta get up in the morning. On my days off, I just gotta go to fucking probation classes. This shit is ridiculous already. Never, no rest for the wicked, homie. No rest for the wicked. You know. But I'm gonna start doing some more live streams. I'm making it a goal to make a video, at least a short every day. I'm gonna start making it. At the very least, I'm gonna make a short every single day. That's my goal. Even if it's just sitting at the train station or something like that. Yeah, this was fun. This was fun. I enjoyed it. And I think a reunion would be good for all of us. I think that should be fun. Yeah, let's do it, Weave. Let's do it. I think it'll be good. I just ain't got much time anymore. I'm so goddamn funny. And now my computer's down. I need to grab an iPad or something like that. This is what I'm gonna have to do, is buy like a used iPad so I can so I can edit videos and shit like that. If nothing else, I can use I forget what's it called, iMovie. Yeah, interview me. Right? Oh. But yeah, for right now, my computer is not up for editing videos, and I can't see good enough. I can't see good enough to edit on these fucking phones. I'll have my glasses next week, though. I got some fat ass Burberrys. But like a real video, like you used to do, it might be a good idea. Might be a good idea. Like I said, I need to get an iPad because that's going to be cheaper than getting something. And I can take it with me. I can get the stuff that I need to make it mobile. Because my computer's just fucking up. I need my brother to fuck with my computer. Anyway, thank you, my friends. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, it might be a good idea, Vegas. Might be a good idea. Like I said, we all do it. We do a reunion live stream. I think that's a good idea. I think if I start going live, if I start going live at night, I could probably get some of that traffic to pick up some of the big live stream traffics like we used to. I've been sitting down too long. Shit got all stiff. Anyway, later, my friends. I'll be back again soon. I'll probably be back again with a live in the next couple of days. I got Tuesday and Thursday off. So, later, my friends. See y'all later. Bye.